since you asked a political question, I'll give you a political answer. The essence of this society is the profit motive. For the sake of the profit motive, we have to treat people like commodities. So people are fundamentally wealth-producing or wealth-consuming creatures, but they don't have any other function. And in a situation, and the schools actually, the way we have them now, you know where they developed? They were developed in Prussia in the 19th century, where they were industrializing, and they needed a docile and obedient, but intelligent and educated working force. So they developed these schools, where kids sit the whole day and their hands behind their back, and they respect the teacher's authority and all that. Well, that wasn't designed with the needs of the child in mind. Who in their right mind would design a school system where kids have to sit in the desk the whole day? If you're talking about children's needs. In other words, the system's needs are what's being served very often. And even now in the school system, very often, it's not the fault of individual teachers. I know what dedicated teachers are. And I know what stuff they go through to teach the material to the kids. But the problem is that the schools are even now not designed for the kids that we have. They're designed for some ideal students who learn at the same rate, at the same time, at the same age, in the same way. No child was ever like that. And instead of saying what the school system ought to be saying, is that if due to the stresses and pressures and distractions of modern society, we're producing a lot of these kids with these problems, we better fit the schools around the needs of these kids. And if we did, we'd have a very different situation in the classroom and in the school setting. But no, we try and fit the kid in, and when the kid doesn't fit in, then we label them, and we medicate them, and we deal with their behavior. So, you know, I could go on much longer about your question, but there's a huge systemic bias against this kind of understanding.
Well, and one of the reasons I ask it is because we're about to go through an educational change in our province. That's on the books right now. Which is individualized education.
Which means?
Well, nobody's been able to articulate that to the best of my, and I've gone to many presentations. But one of the things that hasn't come out with that I've heard or observed is how do we deal with the issues that are arising and the labeling of kids.
Yeah.
They're talking about individualization so that kids can reach their potential and blah, blah, blah. But again, it's based on that model of the ideal student.
Yeah, that
that's being able to make rational decisions about what they want or need in their education.
That's right.
And I haven't seen anybody be able to articulate how it's going to help the kids that I work with.
Exactly. In fact, it's not. And it's designed again, as you say, for that ideal student. And you know, in the States now, but also in Canada, pretty soon, there's going to be more and more pressure for computerized teaching, where kids actually stay at home and they learn the computer. Now that's fine for the self-motivated child.
They can afford the device.
Sorry?
They can afford the device.
Who can afford the device, yeah. But what about the children who are not self-regulated? You know, that's going to be, because people need that, they need your voice. Yeah. They need your facial expression, they need your presence, they need your friendly pat on their back, you need that smile on your face to feel that safety where they can open up and learn. They're not going to get that from a computer. I mean, we're going in we're running headlong in the wrong direction.